Hello there. It's time for a story time. Sometimes when I'm at a family gathering, my granddad goes up to me and he says, Fraser, you're a YouTuber, an influencer, a content creator, so I think this question suits you best. And then he says to me, he goes, why do influencers do the things they do? And I say, Granddaddy, you've been dead for 10 years, mate.
Impossible.
Mind your own business. But you know, Granddaddy Nabs actually did have a pretty good point, didn't he? Because, you know, the internet's it's a pretty strange place. Every single day, a new content creator pops up, they become the talking point, and most likely earn more money than all of us put together. And usually, this goes down two routes. Route number one being they build upon that success, they become a beloved content creator, and eventually join the Dream SMP. Or it can go a different route. The dark and dangerous mystical route of where nobody truly would ever want to go down. This is a route which I would say is probably the most dark and wretched part of hell, and that is the path of potentially dating Tony Lopez. Oh, I can't believe it. Nikita Dragon has posted an Instagram story. Nikita, as always, she's always known for her witty behaviour. What you got to say today, Nikita? Cancel me as many times as you want. My show's still running. Good one, Nikita. You're always known for your jokes and your professional mask wearing. I don't know. Nikita, you know who isn't running? Me. I've put on a lot of pounds during the last year. Hello, everyone.
First and foremost, I need to say sorry.
Nikita Dragon, an international superstar, a world-famous influencer who has Alright. Nikita Dragon is a very, I'd say popular, but she's an influencer. Nikita Dragon is an influencer who has a lot of followers on a lot of social media platforms, and there are a few things that I want to speak about involving Nikita Dragon. Things like this.
But I just really have to go.
Okay, all right, you gotta.
Javier, we gotta make our TikTok.
Okay.
You can't disrupt. He's the celebrity.
Now, scientists over the last 10, 20, and perhaps even 30 years have studied their field of academia, getting their undergraduate, their masters, and even their PhDs to come to the conclusive question of simply why? Why are influencers just so stupid? Like, I don't understand why she's wearing it like that. I can literally see. I can see the straps. I can see them. It's not like you put in the mask like that is going to get the Coca-Cola. I can't say the word. It's going to get the certain illness and have them think, oh, well, boys, she's clearly got that in front of her. Well, it's trying to move on. Let's go find another influencer. Maybe Jake Paul. He's always got his mouth open. Am I right? Now, some of you, luckily, may not have ever stumbled upon Nikita Dragon. You may be thinking, Fraser, who is Nikita? Why are you criticising her? Why are you being a little bit mean? Well, have I got a story for you, my lovelies? But before we go any further, can you do me a favour? It's only a little favour. Can you subscribe and like this video? Can you just subscribe? That's all I want you to do, because I am trying to hit 1 million subs by the end of the summer, which I believe is August, if we actually get a summer, because it's very cold right now. But yes, if you could subscribe right now, that would be amazing, because my dad did said to me, he'll only come home if I hit 1 million subs, and that's going to be the only thing that brings him back. So please hit that sub button. It really means a lot.
Please.
So yes, Nikita Dragon. If you haven't had your brain plagued by her horrific TikTok dances, allow me, the internet connoisseur, that sounds really sad. Allow me to just explain everything and why I have a problem with Nikita Dragon in general. As you saw previously, she is one of the many influencers who really just simply don't know how to put on a mask. And if you are one of those weirdos who is for some reason against prioritizing the safety of others, I just have to say, she's not on your side either, because she does still have the mask, but she's just not putting it on properly. It's like, it's this weird paradox of where she's on nobody's side in this situation. I mean, even here, you can literally see that she puts the mask back over her face when the camera starts recording. And I don't understand, because she is literally being recorded by like 8 cameras at this point, and she fully realizes that. So I am honestly a little bit confused.
Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today.
And I think up until this point of the video, it's pretty obvious that I don't exactly have an amazing opinion on Nikita Dragon, and there is a significant reason for that. It's not really the mask thing, although we will get into that because it is incredibly annoying and the prime level of stupidity from influencers, but there is a more significant reason here, and it involves another influencer, an influencer who was most likely banned from being near primary schools, and no, this time it's not James Charles. If anything, I'd prefer it to be James, because at least James has actually done some good things, whereas this person... No, they both suck. They both suck. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's Tony Lopez.
Number 12. Monkey attacks 100 people in 10 days. In late 2019, a single monkey unleashed chaos.
I'm getting the word... nonce.
And we will get into that, but naturally there are plenty of controversies that I need to go through from 2020 to 2021, starting off with the good old parties that I most definitely wasn't invited to, because you may have heard this little story. There was a little video made which got a few views about people going to parties during the
pepperoni
specific peak of a specific illness, and these influencers decided to go out and have a good time.
Yeah, man, right there. What the dog doing?
Now, influencers going to these parties have been a problem for the last year now. In fact, a lot of politicians, specifically in California, have spoken against some of the people that went to these parties in the last summer. And I don't mean to be a Karen, but I think, to be honest, it was particularly frustrating seeing these parties happen at the peak of everything in the last year. And alright, I get it. It's been a tough year, and I understand a few of us here and there have sneaked off into a park to have a few bevies by ourselves. Just me. Well, I think that's like perfectly fine as long as you're safe and everything and with a couple people. But, you know, if you're going to go to these massive events where there's like an actual nightclub, a DJ, just all of that stuff, to me, during the peak of things, it's probably a bit too far. But the worst thing is, if you're going to break government law, if you're going to piss everyone off, at least have fun doing it. But I'm looking at these videos and no one there looks happy. Like, seriously, look at this video. Everyone here, in my opinion, looks miserable. It's like they're acting. It's like they're trying to look fun, but I don't know what it is with influencers whenever they record themselves with their friends at big events, and it just looks so shit. Like, please, if you're going to make the world a worse place, at least have fun doing it. Now, I'm not recommending you do that. I'm against it, but Jesus, it's like you've pissed everyone off, and you've not even had a good time. What's the point? Yay, I'm going to the Bahamas! Yay! Does your grandmother have a serious disease that I could be spreading by going here? Well, sorry, I'm just trying to be me, and mental health was a real thing, and I just really need the Bahamas right now. I mean, maybe the reason so many influencers have been going to the Bahamas is maybe, I don't know, their therapists live out there? Maybe that's why. Or maybe they're just all insufferable pricks. So yeah, during the absolute peak of all the horrific things that have happened in the last year, these guys were all going to these parties, and to be honest with you, it's obviously, jokes aside, incredibly irresponsible, and I really don't get why these people even pretend that they wear masks. Like, you can literally see she does not want to wear that thing, and there's also hundreds of videos out there of her at these parties parties. And this is an extremely frustrating thing, I think, for all of us to see. But at the same time, as I mentioned earlier, it's not the worst thing that she's actually done in recent times, in my opinion. Because now we need to move on to her relationship with Tony Lopez. And if you don't know who Tony Lopez is, a little explanation for this little man, as you may have guessed earlier, is in the last, I'd say, 9 months, he was exposed for doing a lot of illegal things involving minors and messaging them, and you can probably get the idea. Now, I have done a video about this situation, so if you want to go understand and have a full debriefing of the situation, please go watch that video. But to the uneducated on this topic, I can just confirm that he is certainly not a good person, and most definitely not allowed near primary schools. And this is your cue to like this video and comment, because at the mere mention of Tony Lopez, this video will probably be taken out of the algorithm. So please, help me out. So firstly, we need to go back to the origins of her friendship. Now, I'm not criticizing Nikita for being friends with somebody who was exposed for being an absolute monster. That would be pretty ridiculous of me, because I think we can all admit at this time, anybody could possibly be a monster. Anybody we know, a family member, a friend, a good friend. I think we need to be open to the possibility of somebody we know being a bad person. My English kind of messed up then. But yes, anybody can be a bad person, and I'm not criticizing her for being friends with her in the past, but yeah, as you can see, during the whole time of Nikita partying during lockdowns, she was best buddies with Tony Lopez.
How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So you got here. Okay, the question everybody wants to know, which one of these guys are you dating?
You know, I mean, we're all friends.
We're all friends?
We're friends.
Okay, that's what everybody wants to know, man. You guys seem so close and so cool, and all your little pictures and your little videos.
Honestly, you know what it is? Like, I feel like girls and guys can be friends. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they're just homies. We're cool.
Totally.
So yeah, there was a lot of talk. There was talk between Tony and Nikita, Tony and a minor, and yeah, there were a lot of articles about this. Is Nikita Dragon dating Tony Lopez? Who cares? I really want to know, who are the people out there are like on the edge of their seats in anticipation about if Tony Lopez is dating Nikita Dragon? Why do you care? Like, even if they're like great people, which they're not, so that makes it even worse, but even if they were, why is somebody's relationship, like dating life, something people actually have some form of care for? But yeah, obviously after all of this, as I mentioned earlier, Tony Lopez was outed as being an absolutely horrific person. And as I said earlier, I'm not going to judge her for being friends with somebody who she probably at the time didn't know was a terrible person. But the question is did she cut ties with Tony Lopez after he apologized for all of these horrific things? Did she cut ties? No.
How do you feel about Tony's relationship with SJ Blue?
I feel amazing. I feel like if he's happy, then I'm happy.
You're happy for him?
I'm so happy for him.
Okay, good. Have you had a chance to hang around
I
him
just
together?
saw him today.
How's he doing?
He's amazing.
Okay, good. So you're for the relationship?
Yeah, whatever's gonna make him happy.
Okay, that was the question that got sent in a lot, was like,
Really?
ask Nikita, how does she feel about Tony's thing? Are you guys still friends
We're
though?
our bestest of friends.
Okay, so there's no problems there. Okay.
Bearing in mind, this video came out in October 2020, which I believe, if how timelines and history works, is after August 2020, which is after the timeline of where Tony Lopez was outed of being a... Now, if I've missed a few chapters in the story here, if, you know, Nikita Dragon mastered time travel in the last 6 months, I apologise. But as far as I know, Nikita Dragon cannot travel throughout the universe and the multiverse, as far as I know. So I can only come to the assumption that Nikita Dragon remained friends with Tony Lopez after all of his history.
I want to come on here and, as a young man, take accountability and responsibility for my actions and know that they were wrong.
And naturally so, a lot of people were frustrated about this, which includes Trisha Paytas. Trisha actually called Nikita out for her behaviour and for her friendship with Tony Lopez, and what was Nikita's response? You guessed it, it was a perfectly valid and level-headed response. Haven't you done enough to the trans community? There's no need to downplay mine or trans women's accomplishments. Happy Trans Day of Visibility, Trisha Paytas. Now before we go any further, do not get me wrong, I am not trying to speak over a trans woman on trans and social issues. And if you've come to this page and you're going to use that as some form of justification for your transphobia, please get the fuck off my page. Because on this page, we support trans rights, LGBT rights. Get off my page if you don't support any of that. Because this has nothing to do with that, and I am genuinely confused to why Nikita even mentioned that in these tweets, because what she was being critiqued for by Trisha Paytas was her inability to correctly wear a mask, her going to parties, and her friendship with Tony Lopez. So I don't believe this is a trans or social issue. This has nothing to do with it. It more has something to do with you being friends with somebody who is known for explicitly messaging minors. So let me get this right. You remained friends with Tony Lopez after absolutely everything, and you also went to seemingly nightclub events during the absolute peak of everything before everything was reopening. And don't get me wrong, see your friends, see people safely and stuff, but don't take the piss. Do not absolutely royally take the piss. And it seems to me you're taking the piss on multiple different angles. I'm pretty sure you're breaking the law at this point. Urinating in public is a crime. Like, she was even bragging about throwing this party in July in America, which I think was a worse rate that Britain has ever been in, because things are a little bit different between Britain and America. America is, like, for the last year, being a complete utter mess. Britain is still a mess, but not as bad, probably because there are less people there. But alas, it's a little bit weird to me that these things were ongoing multiple times, perhaps even 20 times during last summer. Like, if you did it once or twice and, you know, little mistake, guys, you know, I caved in, I get it. But you're on social media bragging, literally bragging about being with clearly like hundreds of people, and I'm just thinking, why? Happy birthday, best friend! Larry doesn't like to celebrate his birthday, so I decided to throw him the most insane surprise party ever, Nikita style. And these were the things that Trisha Paytas was criticizing Nikita Dragon for. And don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily agree with Trisha Paytas on almost anything, but in this situation, I feel like Trisha was right in what she was saying, and Nikita was deflecting this bad criticism in ways which I don't think are comparable or fair in this given context and situation. I think the most important thing here isn't necessarily the parties, but it's the remained friendship with Tony Lopez. In the interviews claiming that you're still good buddies with him, and I think that's dangerous because Tony is a predator, and your young, impressionable fans will see that and eat that up and think,
oh, well, Nikita clearly thinks he's a good guy, and I love Nikita, and clearly she's got the right judgment, so I'm now going to forgive Tony Lopez.
That's how kids think. You may think it's stupid, and it is. You know why it's stupid? Because, I mean, it's stupid, but also because they're kids. Kids make stupid decisions. We as kids made stupid decisions, and we as adults need to make sure we're setting an example. And Nikita, you're not setting an example. You're setting a terrible precedent by remaining friends with an awful person. After the interview I previously showed you, she had another interview, and the interviewer brought up the question around the Lopez brothers, and she immediately ended the interview.
Okay, I know you're busy. One more thing, can we get any statement from you regarding the Lopez brothers drama as a whole or in part or anything?
You know I did miss you. But I just really have to go.
Okay, all right, you got it.
Javier, we gotta make our TikTok.
Okay.
You can't disrupt. He's the celebrity. You need to be asking him the
Javier is the OG here.
Interesting that she has to go somewhere now. Well, luckily for you, Nikita, I'm not going anywhere because I wasn't invited to any parties. So, I don't know. I'm not really ever invited. I don't have anything to do, Nikita, so we're going to talk about this.
Nikita, how does she feel about Tony's thing? Are you guys still friends though?
Our bestest of friends.
Okay, so there's no problems there. Okay.
It's rather interesting to me that her tone has significantly changed since this situation. Well, not really changed, but now she's pretty much saying nothing, which leads me to believe, based on her previous statement about Tony, she's still friends with him, but she's not just willing to say it anymore. She doesn't want to say it because she knows it's gonna result in backlash. But I, honest to God, believe she probably is still friends with him, but she knows that people are gonna speak about it, like me, like Trisha, and people are gonna get mad about it, so it's just best keeping it on the down low. Which obviously is absolutely terrible, but you know what else is terrible? She's still wearing her mask like that. Why, Nikita? I am genuinely confused. Please, the straps are there. I will pay you. Like, it's just out of annoyance at this point. I can see them there, and I think it would just be more convenient if you put it on correctly. I will literally show you how to do it. It's really not that hard, and I wear glasses, and they like steam up. So please. It's so easy! But now, coming towards the end of this video, we've gone through pretty much most of the things in the last year in kind of like a speed run, but now we circle back to the beginning of this video, when Nikita spoke about her show. Because yes, despite everything, Snapchat, of all applications, decided to give Nikita Dragon her own, in my opinion, keeping up the Kardashians-esque vibe show, and it's rather peculiar.
Hi, I'm Nikita Dragon. I have everything. I have followers, I have likes, I have power, I have a big ass. But what's to have all this stuff if I can't share it with somebody?
The question is why are you speaking like you're a war general? Yeah, I've got power!
I have power.
Alright, I get 3 likes a tweet as well, Nikita. Yeah, so as I said earlier, basically, just imagine keeping up with the Kardashians, but make it 50 times worse. Actually, 600 times worse. Because, at least in that show... No, they're both terrible. I can't make a justification for keeping up with the Kardashians, even though I have actually watched quite a bit. I don't know why, I just have. I just have.
Wait, do you have a job?
Yes.
Did I ask this?
Dancer, server, bartender.
Go, boy.
You know, listen.
Wait, literally? I'm a visual learner, so should I put on music?
Is that what you want?
If you don't, I will be
Say no more.
I'm so into this. I'm seeing the fantasy. He's very tall.
Yeah, we don't need to see this, and this whole show makes me uncomfortable, not because of any real content in the show, just the fact that she's being paid millions of dollars for the show, but also the fact that it's being broadcasted on Snapchat. So she's getting millions of dollars for 3 viewers, 2 people in middle school, and Tony Lopez. Cancel me as many times as you want. My show's still running. It's got a 2.7 on IMDb, and it's on Snapchat. Is it even a show at that point? Because I don't think it is. And again, this comes down to her weird deflection of criticism. She gets called out, she makes a weird response, she gets called out again, and then it's, well, I've got a show on Snapchat. The only person that consistently uses Snapchat is Tony Lopez and 10-year-old, 15-year-olds. But for the sake of debate, Nikita, let's check the reviews. Oh yeah, there's no reviews because nobody watched this show. I googled it and there isn't any reviews. No one picked this up and was like, yeah, this is really shit, because it wasn't worth anyone's time. It was just bad. Now to end this video, is Nikita Dragon being unfairly criticised? If you watched this whole video and you said yes to that, please, I don't know, Jesus can't even save you at this point, and half of you probably don't even believe in Jesus, but alas, yeah, I think she's being fairly criticised. Comment yes or no if you agree with me, please. I mean, obviously the worst thing she's done is remaining friends with Tony Lopez after everything. I mean, it almost feels like she is accepting of his behaviour. Like, if you're accepting of his friendship, then in my opinion, you are accepting of what he did. Because I couldn't remain friends with somebody if I can accept their terrible behaviour and I would move on and distance myself. But she has remained friends, so I can only kind of assume that, you know, she's on some form of level playing field with the guy about what he did. And that's completely dangerous. As I said earlier, she has young fans, and they may see the horrible things that Tony Lopez has done and think it's okay because my fave Nikita Dragon likes him, and I love Nikita and I trust her judgment on everything, and that's how kids think. If you don't believe me, well, I'm probably not going to change your mind at this point because we're like 25 minutes into the video, but if you don't believe me, I don't really care. Young kids are extremely impressionable, and I think every single adult, especially a 25-year-old woman, knows this. Nikita Dragon, your words and your influence have power and meaning, as you mentioned in your show previously. So because of that, I think you need to acknowledge that stating that you're best friends with somebody like Tony Lopez and that you hang out with him and you have good times with him isn't acceptable given the fact of who that person truly is. In my opinion, by you validating your friendship with him after everything, you're inadvertently normalizing his behavior by accepting him back into the social media space and back into your community, and your young fans will see that and think, oh, well, he made a mistake, well, that's okay, and that behavior begins to become normalized. You're endangering these people with your own actions, and I'm not sure if you realize that, but this is why you're being critiqued. You're not being cancelled for anything you've suggested, in my opinion. I don't even think you're being cancelled. Like, there's this thing about influencers being cancelled all the time. Half of them, 90% of them aren't. Somebody said, I don't like this thing you said, I don't like this thing you did, and they're like, oh my god, I'm being cancelled. No, you're not. You're getting millions of views still, millions of likes, and you literally own like a Lamborghini or something. I think you're perfectly fine, Nikita. You're probably in the Bahamas right now for all we know. You're completely fine. We just want you to say that I'm not friends with Tony Lopez anymore. That would be amazing. But you can't even do that. So that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for coming along. Please subscribe right now, and please like this video right now. I don't know if Nikita Dragon has like a crazy fan base, so just like it for safekeeping. Get this video to 40,000 likes. Share this with your granddaddy, because mine's dead, and your nan, and your friends and family and all the folk that you love. Please follow my Twitter account at inabber69 and inabber on Instagram. It's all there in the bloody description. I've even got TikTok and Lord Behold, I've even got Twitch. I'm extremely mentally ill. You're probably also. See you in the next video. Like the video, subscribe, and yes, Nikita Dragon, please stop being friends with Tony Lopez. Bye!